So blessed are you who are poor, who find your meaning, your dependence, your value in God and not in material things. Let's look at the second one. The second one here. Verse 21a, the first part of that. Blessed are you who are hungry, for you shall be satisfied. Blessed are you who are hungry now, for you shall be satisfied. Verse 25. Woe to you who are full now, for you shall be hungry. Woe to you who are full now, for you shall be hungry. You'll notice that these begin to parallel each other. They begin to move off of the first one pretty well here. I think the next three groups, blessed are the hungry, blessed are the weep or the sad, those who weep, and blessed are those who are hated, all flow from the first one, okay? So who would be hungry? Well, the poor would be hungry. They probably don't have money to buy food, okay? So they're probably going to be the hungriest. So these are going to follow from the first one. Blessed are you who are hungry, for you shall be satisfied. Again, the present tense there. You will be satisfied. Are you going to be physically satisfied with your hunger? Maybe, maybe not. But you're going to be satisfied spiritually. And I think as we think of who we are as a community in Christ, and as the New Testament unfolds, what's it look like to be a community of people who follow Christ? It's a community who cares for each other, so that nobody in the community is what? Hungry. Yeah, without. So part of this, following Christ, is working together as a community to make sure nobody is hungry. So I think part of that is physically filled. If you follow Christ and you're part of this community, are you going to be physically hungry? No, because other people who follow Christ, we all look out for each other. But part of it's spiritual too, that your satisfaction is going to come from God, from that spiritual sustenance of being dependent and living every day in Jesus Christ. People who are hungry, how do you? Let me rephrase that. Let's spin that around a little bit and make that a little bit more close to home. I get the munchies occasionally late at night. Does everybody get the munchies? What do you do when you're hungry and you get the munchies? Yeah, you go raid the cabinets, don't you? Or at least I do. See what we've got to eat. Occasionally, I'm like, oh no, I'll just go to bed. But not very often. You'll raid the cabinets till what? What are you looking for? Huh? Till you find something to eat. Yeah, till you're full. You go looking until you find something to eat till you're full. So you keep looking through the cabinets so you can find something that looks good so you can eat it so you're full. And there's spiritual connections there too. That if we're hungering after God, what should we be doing, or what do we do then? Similar to when we're looking for food late at night, what do we do if we're spiritually hungry for God? What's that? Yeah. I mean, we pursue Him until we are full. And I guess it's kind of a debate. I mean, do you ever really get full? I'm not really sure we ever do. I think we're always pursuing God. But the connections are there that when we're physically hungry, we work at it, we find something, we raid the cupboards till we find something to eat. Spiritually, it's similar. That as we're spiritually hungry, we keep searching for God, we keep praying, we keep reading, we keep that relationship with Him, or He keeps that relationship with us, and we're filled with Him and His Spirit, and we're nourished, we're satisfied through that. But it says those who are full now, one day you are going to be hungry. Again, that material, spiritual off-play there, that those who are full now, who have no need for anything else, for food or anything like that, that one day they are going to be hungry. Physically, we see again how fast tables turn in this world. I was looking at the news last night, and I didn't read the article, but on Yahoo, it's got that bar across the bottom where you can see like news stories, and it had this picture, two pictures of the same guy. One, he was all dressed up in a suit, and the next one he was in kind of a faded, obviously a repurchased army jacket. Did you see that, Paul? Yeah, he went from being a millionaire to nothing to being, I guess, I didn't read it. I don't know if he's on the streets. Yeah. So he went from everything to nothing in just, I guess, a short period of time. And we know that happens. Those who are full now, you too shall be hungry. So when we are hungry for God, when we keep searching for Him, He promises to fill us. All right. So let's move on to the next one here. And Tony, I've got a little clip of a video here I'm going to show in just a second. Tony's going to get that fired up here for me. Let's look here, 21b, the second part of that verse. Blessed are you who weep now, for you shall laugh. Verse 25b, woe to you who laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. So why do we have people who weep? Again, I think this stems from the first part. They're hungry, or they're poor, they're hungry. People who are poor and hungry generally face a lot of obstacles in life, a lot of injustices in life, and it's probably why they are weeping, why they are sad. They're facing just the injustices that we see every day in life. But one day, those injustices are going to be put aright. One day, those who are mourning can be those who laugh. What does it say? God is going to turn tears and wipe away every tear, turn the mourning into laughter or joy. Laughter here, the 25b, isn't laughter and joy of life. That's a good thing. It's really difficult to read the Gospels and read about Jesus without thinking that Jesus had a sense of humor. I think Jesus had a good sense of humor. I mean, look what the things that He put up with and some of the things that He says. I think Jesus had a sense of humor. So I don't think this is at all saying anything that humor in life, having fun in life, having joy is a bad thing at all. I think those all things are great, and I think laughter and joy are part of what some of the things that God has given to us. But what is laughter or what is the laughter He's talking about? I think it stems back to the poor, the hungry, and the sad. And Tony, if you'll yank off that there, take a look at this. I think this is more of the laughter that he's talking about here. Pardon me, the image is kind of difficult to see. Okay, at that. It's a laughter at other people's misfortune. It's the rich laughing at the poor. Because I've got it, you don't, and we can laugh at not laugh at each other. They laugh at those who are below them. And like the clip we just saw, it doesn't take long for one who is laughing for the tables to turn and you get laughed at back. Well, let's just say I've experienced that myself at times as a younger man. So we know that the tables can turn very, very quickly. But that laughter, again, it isn't humor in life. It isn't having fun. It's laughing at those who are down and out, laughing at those who have it less well than we do. So Jesus says, those who weep now, those, again, linking back to who are poor, who are hungry, those of you who find yourselves in that state, find your comfort in Christ. You will be able to laugh one day that Christ is coming back to set things right. And I think at points in our lives our heart can ache for that. That God, when are you coming to set things right? As we look around and see all the things that happen in this world and all the injustice, God, when are you coming back to set things right? Okay, so let's look at our last one here. We're doing pretty well on time here. Blessed are you when people hate you and when they exclude you and revile you and spurn your name as evil on account of the Son of Man. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. So notice there, again, you've already got this sense of this laughter and joy happening right now. So your reward is great in heaven, for so their fathers did to the prophets. Verse 26, woe to you when all people speak well of you, for For so their fathers did speak to the false, so their fathers did to the false prophets. This last blessing, beatitude, shines light on the rest. You know, it really helps us understand what's going on in the rest of these, of being poor, of being hungry, of being sad, or weeping. Why are they excluded? Why are they reviled? And why are they spurned? Does it say here in verse 22? Okay, on account of the Son of Man, on account of Christ, yes. Because you follow Christ. Because you follow Christ, these things may happen. This is really what it revolves around. You know, following Jesus. You know, and understanding what he says in 26 is important because, you know, it's good for people to think well of us. You know, that's stated elsewhere in the New Testament. It's good for people to look well upon us, for us to have good reputations, to think well of us. So what's Jesus talking about here? Well, it's that if people speak well of us, or if people speak well of us because we're willing not to follow Jesus, or willing to compromise on following Jesus, he said that's not okay. That's exactly what the false prophets did. They told people what they wanted to hear because it got them in good with other people. So if we're willing to do that, that's when Jesus says that's not such a good thing.